Hi, Catherine and Anne. First lesson, got through quite a bit and a little bit of everything, I suppose. So, first of all, we'll talk about strumming first. So, as I was saying, generally I go down with the fingers, and you can kind of extend them on the way down and back up as well. So, I won't go too heavy on this stuff because this is in another video I'm going to send you as well on rhythm in general. But for Let It Be, what I would generally do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 any variation that you come up with within that movement, that'll be perfectly fine. It's all about having that 4 count in your head, just keeping it nice and steady, and getting in on the chord ahead of time as well. Okay, so we were talking as well about finger posture. So, a couple of things on that, and you've mostly got that anyway, but it's just to keep it in mind. So first of all, should be coming down directly 90 degrees almost on to the fretboard. Now again, don't need to be too picky about that. As long as you're getting all 4 notes of every chord out, no problem, but that's going to be the best way to do it. So keep it curved out the way, so try to avoid bending your finger, can't see it there, this way. Always keep it curved out that way. Keep it right up to whatever fret you're behind, wherever possible. There's going to be some chords, like, for example, D, which we were talking about there, where, you know, this finger is going to be forced back here by the other two. That's fine, but just wherever you can, keep it as close to the fret as you can. And as usual, plenty of pressure as well. Okay, so then we had bringing chords up the fretboard. So as I was saying, I always prefer to kind of, make it about the theory, rather than just saying, here's how you play E major, here's how you play this chord. Rather than do that, I think it's better to say, well, here's how you find the chords. So we were talking about E major, which there's a couple of different ways to play every chord, but no matter which way you play E major, it tends to be a bit awkward. So one way you could do it is, so if we're playing D like that, you would switch it around so that your first finger is free, okay? So in other words, you replace that with your middle finger, third finger goes above it, little finger goes below it. Now, so that's because you can't just bring it up the way like that, because we're leaving behind that open string there. That needs to be brought up just as much as the other ones do. So that's why we got to switch it around. Index finger free, bring it up, and bring this one up by a fret as well. Now, there we go. So that's D major brought up by 1 fret, or 1 semitone is the more general term for that. So that would be D sharp. So D sharp, remember, it goes from A to G. There's a sharp just above every one, with the exception of B and E. So D is not one of the exceptions, so this is D sharp major. So bring it up again. There's E major. Okay? Now, by the way, this is E major, so if I bring this, remember, flat is the opposite of sharp, 1 down, so you could also refer to this as E flat major. So there's D, bring it up from D, D sharp. There's E, bring it down from D, E flat. So another example of that is B minor. So E major is quite common, B minor is quite common as well. So there's A minor here. Now again, in order to be able to bring it up, we don't want to be stretching back like this. So again, use a different finger, preferably the third finger. So if we bring that up 1, so all these open ones have been left behind, so we got to hold them down. And there's A sharp minor, and then up another one from that. That's B minor. Now, what I was saying as well was that if this is difficult, right, so because it's hard enough barring these as well, which, by the way, as I was saying, loads of pressure, really squeeze on that one now. Get your nail, roll your finger back onto its side so that the nail is pointing that way. And make sure that, as well as being right up to the fret, as they always need to be, make sure that this is parallel to the fret, because it will tend to come in at a bit of a slant like that, so try to keep it parallel. Now, as I was saying, so that's hard enough, and then you have to get this third finger up there as well. Now, if you can do that, great. But if bringing this up here is messing up the bar on you, what you can do instead is just block this string, because this note here is already there anyway, right? So now you can't just leave it open, because that's a different chord now. We've added in this G note into the B minor chord. which makes it different. So what you can do is just hold it so that this finger up here is touching it. Well, there we go, that's better. And you still, now it's not completely redundant to do this. This makes it sound a bit thicker and a bit fuller, but that's still a legit full-on B minor chord. So now it stands to reason then that if you were to bring all of this up another fret, you'd be on C minor. That's C minor there. Because there's no B sharp, so straight to C. So then this would be C sharp minor, D minor. And just to have a listen to it, there's D minor, and then this is also D minor. D minor, D minor. So you can see they're the same chord, but just a different voicing for it. Okay, so that's finding more chords. I know we did a couple of others as well. There's E minor, and then to get to B7, you just take all of that up a string. Now, when you're making a change like that, try not to get into the habit of doing this. You know, doing it all, you know, kind of one stage then the next. It should ideally move it as one unit all the way up. Because even if you do that really fast, one finger then the next, it's never going to be as fast as all at once. So the last thing then is the scale. So it's a little bit unusual playing melodies on a ukulele as opposed to chords. The vast majority of the time you're going to be playing chords. So this is not high priority stuff at all. As I said, this is just to make things a little bit more interesting. So you can pick individual strings by using your thumb and then just kind of leaning on the next string down. Okay, that's one way of doing it. So we're going to, so just with the C major scale, we're going to start off with the low C note. So that's the second string down. So on that same string, hold it down, second fret, middle fingers, so we'll have a finger for each fret to make it a bit more efficient. Open C string, second fret on the C string. Open E string, next string down, first fret, and then third fret. And you can leave that other finger there, by the way. That doesn't make a difference once it's been held on a higher fret. Then, next string, open, no fret, second fret, third fret. So the whole scale is, and you can try it back down as well. And then end it with a C chord. Okay, so that's plenty to be getting on with anyway. If you have any questions, be sure to email me. And I'll see you in the next one. All right, have a good one.